Hello, hello, namaste, namaste, namaste. Hi everyone, happy Thursday. Welcome to another Thursday Live. Today our topic is let's fake happiness. Have you ever faked happiness, guys? Do you fake happiness? Or when you watch other people, namaste, when you watch other people and you see a picture, an image, when you're on social media and you see all these different people doing wonderful things and their lives are so exciting and beautiful, what do you feel at that moment? So, first step, everybody, welcome, namaste. We're going to start grounding ourselves. First step, we are going to ground ourselves. We're going to pay attention to everything that's happening around us. I want you to train your ears to be super sensitive to any noise that's happening around you. So, when I quiet myself, I'm hearing the birds, I'm hearing the crows, I'm hearing the energy around me, which is very pleasant, very silent. But I can also hear information in that silence or quietness. So let's train our ears. Let's embrace the silence. Let's be fully present here. And I'm going to check in my body. I'm going to check to see, is my head relaxed? My eyebrows. I'm relaxing my cheeks. I'm relaxing my chins. I'm relaxing my chest. I'm relaxing my shoulders. I'm taking a deep breath, inhaling and exhaling, and adjusting my back. Do I need a crack in my neck? I'm softening my chest. I am relaxing my stomach. My stomach, I bring the energy and intention of relaxation in my tummy, in my belly. I can even rub my belly and tell my belly, I love you. Everything is good. You are safe. As I'm rubbing my belly, I'm telling my belly that we are safe. We are protected. Everything is good. I tune into the emotions and I see the wave of the emotions going up and down. As I'm tuning really into that emotion, consciously I'm slowing down the wave. Whatever comes in my attention, I try to identify the emotion. What's the translation of that emotion? If the translation is sadness, I'm looking at the degree of sadness. How much is this sadness that's being experienced here? What's the degree of this sadness? And in my mind's eyes, I throw some water at this sadness. And the next step, again, in my mind eyes, I imagine that the sadness is being washed away. So I keep repeating this process. What's the degree of sadness? From 0, nothing, totally content, to 10 is the deepest sadness and depression. Okay, I know the degree. The next step, I separate myself from the sadness. The sadness. The sadness is being experienced here, but I'm separating myself from the sadness. I am not the sadness. I do not say I feel sad. Yet I separate myself. I drop the I, and then I see sadness as a different energy or entity that's being experienced here. So now I'm coming to myself and I have a huge bucket of water. I throw the water at the sadness and the sadness washes away. And then I'm checking again. Is the sadness totally gone? If there's a trace of sadness, I throw the second bucket of water. Oh, more sadness. This energy of sadness is being washed away. Another bucket, washed away. And then eventually I come to this point that no sadness is being experienced. Now, consciously, I'm bringing my attention to what I would like for myself to experience here at this empty space now. Now that the sadness is gone, what do I want to experience here? And I choose to be happy. So I bring consciously, I'm bringing happiness into this space. What else do I want to experience? What else? Happiness, joy. So I bring joy and happiness here. What else do I want to experience right now? Oh, I want to experience oneness with the Creator. So I'm bringing the feeling of oneness with the universe, right? So I'm bringing happiness, right? Okay, so I'm filling my space up with happiness, with joy, with oneness. You do.
Hello.
With
Hello, hello.
um, so stay with us, Megan, as we're doing this
Sure,
guided
sure.
meditation. So I'm bringing more love, more joy, and I'm imagining how does it feel when I feel one with the wholeness, with the Creator. Oh, I see this love. I see that the universe, this love and light is embracing me. Ooh, it feels so good. I am loved. I'm truly and fully loved. And my whole space, my whole body, my whole aura is being injected with the universal love and light. I want you to bask into this beautiful white light energy of the universe. I want you to feel that every cell in your body is receiving the universal love and light. And I want you to imagine in your mind's eyes that every cell in your body is shining like a diamond. Shine like a diamond, shine like a diamond, shine like a diamond. So every cell in my body, every bacteria, every organ in my body is becoming love and light and is basking in this beautiful purity of higher consciousness. And I want you to see your liver turn into a brilliant diamond. And I want you to imagine your thyroid. Your thyroid is becoming this beautiful diamond. I want you to see your brain. Every cell in your brain is turning and shining as a bright diamond. I, I want you to see your legs, your sexual organs is turning into this beautiful, gorgeous diamond. You are so precious. You are so worthy. And anybody who's coming and entering in your space is receiving this beautiful universal love and light. At this moment, every parasite in your body, whether it's actual parasite or whether it's ego parasitic, I want you to feel and see that is dropping out of your body. All the parasites is released. And at this moment, I want you all to imagine that you are standing under a beautiful water flow of light. And I want you to see as you're standing under this beautiful water fountain, rainforest, your whole body is receiving this purity of white light. And see as you look at your feet that how all impurities, everything is leaving your body. And then look again, the rainbow color of fountain, the violet, beautiful violet, the green of the heart or the pink of the heart, the blue of the throat, the yellow and orange and red and green, blue. All of this rainbow of color is washing through you, clearing and cleansing all of your chakras. And I want you to hug yourself at this moment. Hug yourself and caress yourself and tell yourself deeply with an open heart, I love you. I love you, my precious body. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, and welcome everybody. You are so pure and you're shining so bright that I have to close my eyes now. Shining soul sisters and brothers. Okay, so
Hi, Sudguru.
hey Megan,
Today
let's
we're sharing
fake
something.
happiness.
Let's fake happiness. Well, I came without any makeup or didn't even brush my hair to try to be as authentic as I possibly can. Because I was not in the mood.
Hallelujah. We celebrate Megan's being so authentic. Thank you,
Trying,
Megan.
trying.
Okay.
last week for my birthday, Sudguru and I went to the beach where Sudguru received a lot of beautiful downloads from the divine. And as we were in our own meditation and our own world, we overheard a crying baby and her mother. The baby was throwing tantrums and she was crying. And the mother said, "Smile for the camera. I'm taking a picture." And in that very moment, Sudguru said, "Wow, let's all fake it for the camera." And brought it to my attention on how we condition even our children, like as our children were conditioned to fake it and smile for the camera and for others, despite however it is that we're feeling in that moment. So we're teaching children to be inauthentic. And we grow up thinking that if it's in front of the camera, if it's in front of other people, we got to smile, even if that's not how we're feeling on the inside. And we decided to talk about how we fake happiness.
Yes. So I just finished the Farsi live, guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys were who speak Farsi. You were in that live. So here's the deal. Let's fake happiness came from the fact that how we fakely showcase our lives. And I don't think that is such a big problem. But the big problem starts when you and I go on social media and we see these fake footages and videos and lives and pictures, and we think that's their true lives. So, this is what we need to really pay attention, guys. What we see on social media is when you and I are putting our nicest dress, we dressing up for the camera, we putting our nicest makeup like I have right now. I fix my hair and I put on my makeup and I put something on and I show up with my best behavior, right? And then when you see me, you say, "Oh, lucky her. She's always made up and she always had it together. She's so," and you pity me and you jealous because she's always so put together. She has her life all figured out. How lucky she is that she figured her life out, and you get fooled by that because you don't know me. The picture that you see here, you don't know how fake or how real it is. And as we know now, everybody today is a speaker. Social media opened up this platform that we all start being a coach. We all talk about everything. And then when other people sees us, they think they're under assumption that, oh, she or he has figured it all out. And that's where we go wrong. Why? Because we don't know. We don't know that these people are putting on an act of coming as an expert, talking about a topic, but in their daily lives, their lives are a mess, right? So, this is what I want us to become conscious of. The picture is fake there. And I was talking in my Farsi live. I said, "Do you know, guys, when you throw a party, like maybe for a week, you're busy, engaged with what kind of food you're going to serve, what kind of drink are you going to serve, and where should you go and shopping, and you totally for a whole week ignore your whole family. You don't cook them a meal, you just throw something, some fast food or something there, and you don't want to spend any money on your household or on your family because you need to save that money to buy the best, the largest fruits and the best food to impress other people." right?
Mhm.
That's another fakeness of a show. And I even said a lot of people, like for instance, I might not be able because it is very custom in Persian custom. The size of your rice, it's very important, guys. The size of your rice shows what a great housewife you have. And a lot of time, if you are like me and you cannot make a rice that's going to be this long and this tall, you might even go to other people, even have food delivery from outside, and then you punch and squeeze your husband. Don't you dare tell everybody that I didn't make the rice and somebody else came or cooked, made it, or we got this from catering, the food from the catering. And so much going on in the background. And then when the guests are coming, you forcing your poor children to go and put on their nicest clothes and take a shower, and you're getting upset as your husband that he's not dressed up enough and he should put his nice dress. And there's a lot of background of argument that you're telling your husband, don't forget to be nice, don't forget to, did you see so and so, that how they praise their wife and that stuff, you should do that, you should hold my hand and you should bring me tea, and all of this fakeness. And the minute that the doorbell rings, ding dong, the show starts. And then how often we go to a party and then we come home and say, did you see the nice house they have? Did you see how the wife was treating her husband? Did you see how her husband was holding her hand and paying attention? If she's eating, and all of this fakeness over fakeness over fakeness.
Sudguru, I think one thing we all forgot is what social media was an extension of television, of movie
Yeah,
theaters. And what are media outlets like television and movie theaters are for? They're for two things. One, to give you information. Two, to entertain you. So media outlets in general are for information and entertainment. And social media is a form of media. So anything we see on social media is either we're receiving information or whatever we see from other people's lives, they are all a form of entertainment. But I personally, a lot of times, including last night, confuse that form of entertainment with reality. And when I compare myself to that fake reality, I'm always behind.
yeah.
I'm always behind. And that makes me feel very bad about myself. So if we are aware, if we're conscious that whatever we see on social media is a form of entertainment, how can we still use it to our advantage to go through social media without comparing ourselves and feeling so bad about ourselves?
Mm. What is in my space right now is why go to social media.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Why go to social media? Because even a lot of you guys who know my background, I was on television for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
During the 18 years that I was on TV, I never had or own a satellite. I never ever watched anybody else's show. I would just go on time, do my show, goodbye, and I got out of there. I never watched television myself. So now with social media, it's the same thing. I don't go and sit and listen to somebody else's live, or I don't watch anything else. Um, Maybe some once in a while when I come to see my social media, I click on myself. I see a couple of posts or something rolling, and if it catches my attention, maybe there is a spiritual quotes that seems like, I just look at it and I read it. The maximum total social media time for me is 5 minutes in a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ada, thank you for following. Start following. Thank you, love. Right? So less than 5 minutes. Why are you in social media? We have to figure this out. Why do you go to social media? For me, if I want to learn something, I'm a YouTuber. So if I want to listen to a good lecture or a good content, I go on YouTube and I might watch something every once in a while. I might listen to somebody that I find their information valuable, but that's about it. So I think the problem is that here's the difference. Am I using social media for entertainment, to passing time, or am I using social media for education and information? First, we have to establish, is it this or that, right? So that's what we have to see. What is it? Why do you go on social media? Because if I think that I'm going to use social media for entertainment, I have to be sure that spending time, and the more time I spend on social media, the more depressed I will become. And I'm not making this up, guys. I am just saying that what's going on here is that study has shown people who spend time on social media, they end up being depressed, right? So, social media, now that you and I are aware, Megan, why do I go on social media? I would prefer to use my time instead of sitting and scrolling on social media to have this movement. I try to work on my study. I try to use that time for cooking fresh meal, to go for a walk, if I can go to the beach or do something productive. So right now, this is the deal, guys. Make a choice. Why are you using social media? And if you know that if you're going there for entertainment, you're going to end up becoming heavier. You're going to end up being more depressed. You're going to start, the social media is a kind of a virus that attacks to you, to your ego, and it brings up the jealousy, the envy. These are all different type of parasite, right? Envy, comparison, and this or that. So if you're aware right now, if you weren't aware till now, okay, fine, cool. You tell me, I was never aware. It was another act of my ego that created the temptation that I didn't want to be productive or do something. Therefore, I spend a lot of time on social media. And then the tactic of my ego was, while I spend a lot of time on social media, after that, the next tactic that my ego used, it was like, oh, you're wasting your time, you're a loser, you haven't done anything, look at you, you're spending so much time doing nothing on social media. So these were all tactics or parasitic part of ego that's been used, right? So you say, okay, oh my God, I wasn't aware till now. Now that we have this moment, what do you choose this moment?
Well, back to the earlier conversation you were having on live, which is how we should not feed our egos and we should stop the ego. I think social media is the perfect food for the ego because it makes you feel ego, blame yourself, or put yourself down. And I personally, even when I go to social media as a form of entertainment, I think that's like an invitation from my ego to say, come on in. And when you go in, it's perfect for the ego because it takes you into, look, they're better than me. They have their lives together. You don't have your shit together. You don't have, they have this and you don't have that. So I think if we all look at social media as food for the ego, as poison for the ego, we can all utilize it differently. If we need to still utilize it for information, we go to the information we need, we get the information without getting sucked into the ego. But that requires, again, uh, that discipline of really taming the ego and not letting the ego take us in. A lot of times I think to myself, I'm only going to be on social media for 5 minutes. Next thing I know, an hour and a half later, I'm still on social media, but feeling horrible about myself.
Mhm. So if
So,
we want to look at it, Megan, if you want to look at it energetically,
mhm,
let's bring this to our attention that social media, the vibration of social media is not uplifting, yet the vibration of social media is going to lower our vibration. How about if we look at it this way?
correct.
What happens when you go on social media? Do you feel better? Do you
No,
feel energized? Do you
no.
feel good about? Okay, so it's very clear. If you are going on social media and you end up feeling worse than you went there, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out that, oh, this vibration doesn't make me feel good. So how about if I protect myself and don't go on social media? And as we talked about addictions, um, this social media is one of the biggest addictions for people these days, for teens and going up. So now that we're looking at being on social media, scrolling down, searching for things, it's it's a virus, it's a parasite, it's an addiction like any other addiction that I talked about it in my Farsi life too, guys. Any addiction that creates a need and a temptation, it doesn't last more than 1 minute. So from now on, let's practice this. Your mind and your ego said, let's go on. It's time to go on and check what's happening on social media. Now you stop. The first step is to stop. Come to yourself and say, oh, now I'm aware that this is a parasite that wants to pull me in. I'm not going to allow the parasite to pull me in and get attached to that parasite in my system that's going to make me feel ill, right? So that's the first step. And then I said, the tools that I can give you right now is, if you know that every temptation, any need that shows up, if you distract yourself, it's only going to last few seconds and the most 1 minute. So the tools I'm giving you right now, say no to that addiction. And the next step, get yourself engaged and busy with doing something else. That something else could be that I'm going to say no, and it depends on how bad the addiction is, right? Because addiction has many, many, many grades, right? So I say no, and what do? I force myself to put my jogging shoes on and get outside. Go for a walk. I'm going to tell myself I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to prepare lunch. I'm going to call a friend. I'm going to do something to distract myself from that temptation. And I promise you that in less than a minute, maximum 2 minutes, if you do something else, that temptation would fully disappear. And you notice that I give you another example too. I said how often you felt really, really hungry and you got a phone call and you got engaged in a phone call, your attention, your energy shifted to that conversation, and after you hang up that phone call, you see that you're no longer hungry, right? So where our attention goes, the energy goes, the focus goes, everything together. So you have to consciously change your focus, do something else for this temptation to pass.
Wow. So when you said social media is like a parasite that invites in the ego and it's come and says, come, come, eat me,
Yeah.
bite me, like I'm toxin and I'm basically tempting you to come and get me. I remember you also said something really beautiful. You said ego is feminine because ego is seducing,
Yeah.
ego is enticing, ego is inviting, so ego is feminine. When in our daily lives when we come across something that is exciting, enticing, and tempting, how can we discern whether that's the ego, the parasite saying, "Come on in, I want to feed you poison," or if it's actually something that is authentic to us and it's truly going to give us joy? How can we tell the difference?
It's, remember, I had this conversation many times. I often see most people live their lives unconsciously.
Mhm.
So here's the deal. Am I living my life consciously or am I living my life unconsciously? If I'm living my life consciously, in that consciousness, the whole knowing is there. You already know, Megan, what's good for you. You already know what's productive. If you're living your life unconsciously, the information, the data is lacking into living unconsciously. Therefore, is in the unconscious living that the ego is super active, and it tricks you and pull you into whatever is not good for you, or convinces you that this is the right thing. So the truth is, again, I need awareness and consciousness. Am I living my life consciously? If I'm living my life consciously, the whole knowing, the whole information, all the data is in living conscious. On the contrary, living unconsciously is ego driven, no information, mismatch information, and that's what it is. So you have to be aware which side are you coming from.
But if you've lived your whole life unconsciously, which is most of us, it's very difficult to discern if something's coming from your ego, unconscious, mind, or if it's coming from your conscious mind. Is there another tool you can give us to help us discern that? Imagine we're all living completely unconsciously.
Okay. First thing I always say, the first thing is knowing that awareness is always here. What separates you and I from the whole awareness is the ego and mind,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
So now that the first thing is awareness that, oh, till now, I have been living my life unconsciously.
mhm.
So, what would be your choice right now? Now that you have this awareness that, oh, most of my life, I have been living my life unconsciously. Would you choose living consciously from this moment on?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the first step. Realizing I have the experience of not living conscious.
Mhm,
Now, I don't have the experience of living unconsciously, right? So, the first thing, you make yourself, Megan, super excited. That's the first step. The energy that we bring in, oh, I'm super excited for a new experience, which is living my life
conscious.
consciously. So
Okay.
now you tell me, how does it feel in the body to have a new experience of living consciously?
It's excitement. It's a different form of excitement. It doesn't have anxiety in it. It's pure excitement.
Okay. So in this excitement, now you have to make a choice.
Hmm.
How often do you want to be here and use these tools?
I like to always feel this way, like this very feeling that I'm having right now. I love this. That's how I want
So
to live all
so
the time.
what does it take for you? What do we need, or what does it take for us to choose this? What does it take for us to make a choice to be conscious?
I don't know.
Think about it.
What does it take for me to feel this excitement and joy in every moment?
Write a comment, guys. Write a comment, everybody. Tell me.
Guys, help me here. I don't know the answer. What does it take for you guys to feel joyful at every moment? Like I was thinking to myself the other day, I said, we all have a definition of how life in the matrix should look like, right? We know there are ups and downs, hell and heaven, good and bad, and darkness and light. And I said, well, I'm an adventurer, I'm a seeker, I'm an explorer. I said, how would it be if I could explore different layers of life where it would be different than what I've been told since I was a kid? What if there are levels to life that are just bliss, excitement, joy, and just motivation and happiness? What if there are? And I'm just not aware of them
Mhm.
because Sudguru, you know, I'm a seeker. I like to explore, and I'm now ready to explore different levels of life, but I don't know how.
Right. I'm trying to see. Well, I think the first thing will be for me to have this awareness that I have a choice at every second. And having this choice, the next step needs the daily practice. Are you willing to do the daily practice to make the choice to be conscious, to make a choice to be conscious? And here's the deal. You know, the most of the time, I was talking about this morning too. Most of the time, the ego always brings up what we're not good at, what
Yeah.
we're doing wrong, what we are lacking. So I said, from today, let's start celebrate the smallest thing that you and I do good and right. Right?
Uh-huh.
So from this moment on, I choose to live awareness. Maybe at the beginning, day one, start writing using a journal. Today, every time that you celebrate the slightest thing, you give yourself a gift. You praise yourself. Good job. You did a great job. And start counting. So you wake up in the morning, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, oh, I'm going to have to live consciously today. Number one, you give yourself a praise. Number two, oh, I don't know how I'm feeling. The day looks cloudy. I don't have the energy. Jump out of your bed. I choose to live consciously. Two, great, praise. You're wonderful. You did it. You managed to pull yourself out of the bed. Then you're the third time, the mind comes and say, oh, we're lacking energy. I don't know why I don't have energy. Push that away. Push that virus away and cleanse up yourself and wash your face. Take a different action. Wash your face or have a glass of water. By doing this, you are being conscious. Again, praise yourself. Did you see that? How wonderful you are. You managed not to listen to the ego mind that you don't have any energy. You pulled yourself up. Great job. So by celebrating every step, every little part that you're doing something wrong, every time you say no to ego, you celebrate, you praise yourself. Every time you do something against being unconscious, and every time you catch yourself, let's say at the moment you're drifting into a dream or fantasizing or something. So the mind and ego has taken you into its own usual journey. maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes time, you come to yourself and say, oh, oops, I was totally gone. I don't know how long I was
Was
gone and I was
fascinating.
fantasizing about something or this or that. The minute you catch yourself, the ego will say, oh, did you see? You were, oh my God, look at the time. Did you realize that what a loser
Yeah.
you are? You were gone for 30 minutes? Know the virus. This is a parasite. Stay away from it and say, oh, great, I became conscious now. Good
Mhm.
job, you become conscious. So, this is really a daily practice doing. Stop being conscious, stop being conscious. No to ego, being conscious. No, no, keep doing it. And it's like every muscle by doing it day after day after day, then you see maybe at the beginning, this is what I hear from my followers. They said at the beginning, I would be gone for a whole hour. My mind would have taken me here and there to my childhood, to my wound, to all of this stuff. It would take me maybe an hour to become conscious and pull myself up. 1 month later, you catch yourself in 20 minutes by doing this day after day. Um, Maybe a week later, when you stop being abusive, when you catch the ego, one of the other parts that the ego is constantly bugging us is what? Is putting us down, bringing to our attention that what we couldn't do and I can't do. So by stopping that, every time that I'm saying no to ego, every time that I say no to temptation, every second now I'm building up a new muscle, which is the stop the abuse of beating myself up and giving myself a praise. I praise myself for this one. So tell me, Megan, what can you praise yourself today for till now? What are the things that you can find to praise yourself?
My ego didn't want me to get out of the bed. I got out of the
One,
bed.
congratulations.
My ego didn't want me to go live right now because it said that I don't have time to do makeup to get ready.
Congratulations. Megan, this is a big one. This is for you guys who don't know the background. Today we were supposed to do a joint live
Yes.
with George also, and Megan said, I'm not ready. I gotta walk Skylar, I gotta do this and this. And I said, okay, no problem. I'm gonna do the live. And George dropped off and I said, no problem. I'm gonna do the live on my own. And then Megan said, I want to come to live. I'm not going to wear makeup. And this is huge, guys. I want you all to really congratulate Megan. She didn't put any makeup. She didn't use any filter. She just came here. That's huge, Megan. And
Thank
if,
you.
and if every single day you think about this, run this a few times a day in your head, right? Thank you,
Yes.
Charlene. Lovely Charlene 66. Okay,
Thank
so run
you.
this a few times. Did you see you did that? Congratulations. Sometimes, guys, this is just came to me. Sometimes, just one good things that you do, keep running that through your head. Keep running it. Did you see? I went live without makeup. I was like, congratulations. Did you see? Even if you don't have anything good, keep on running that one good thing that you did, that it was hard and you're proud of yourself.
I I didn't even brush my hair. I didn't even this is a shirt I slept in last night. So I want to be like fully transparent. I literally just woke up. And the motivation was that because I was listening to your live earlier this morning, you said every time you really don't want to do something, your ego is basically keeping you away from something amazing.
Yeah.
I so didn't want to do this live without makeup that I was like, I just want to see why the ego really doesn't want me to do that. What is there? There might be something really good about it, that the ego is working so hard to convince me that this is not the right move for me. I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it out
yeah.
of that.
Yeah. But something else. Remember also in my Farsi live, I said, when now, first of all, guys, let us all do this. I said that we have to change the position, the relationship of the ego mind with our higher selves, right? So until now, the ego mind has been playing the master. So the ego mind is the master, and you and I are what? You and I are
Right.
slaves to the ego.
Yes.
So the first step is we're going to change this relationship. You are becoming the master, you becoming the parent, and the ego is becoming your little 2 year old toddler. So the minute you and I change this position of relationship, all of a sudden, by me becoming a master, imagine yourself, all of you, Megan, I want you to feel that you are the master and create that energy. How is the master? How does the master think? How does the master feel? How is it? If you're a master, I want you to show it in your physical body. When I'm a master, what do? I sit up straight, my chest is up, my chin is up. I am the master. So now that I'm a master, I feel all this power in my body, right? I feel like I'm emanating a lot of energy. I am the master. Now, in your mind eyes, I want you to shrink the ego. Before, the ego was this master, right? Now that I become the master, I'm the superhuman, I'm the superpower. Now we're shrinking the ego, and the ego becomes a little cute 2 years old. Now, how does it feel by changing the position? Do you see? Now you no longer are going to say, oh my God, the ego is so powerful and I can't have that. No, now it's the 2 year old. And of course, obviously, we know that a 2 year old, we have to watch all the time because we don't know what is going to do at every second. So now we are conscious, we are the master, we are the parent, we have love and compassion for this toddler, and we know that we constantly have to be aware of it, right?
Yes.
So, what I was saying, when your ego told you, by the way, I named Megan's ego Banafshe. So when you realize that Banafshe is telling you, I don't want to do this life, I'm not ready, you sit back and you look at Banafshe. There is more into this thing that Banafshe is saying, you don't have the energy. You have to read more into it. What else is in it? So what we realize is that the Banafshe is telling you you don't have the energy, is sucking out your energy, but the Banafshe is doing that for the next tactic that is going to abuse you and tell you, did you see you couldn't have do the life? Did you see
That's
what a loser you
yeah.
are? Did you see that you couldn't do it? And it's going to use that tactic to make you feel bad all day.
Yes.
So do you see how empowering it is by you standing and changing the position? And now that you did it now, Megan, you can do that every day.
Yes.
And all of you guys use this tactic. Become the master.
And is it like the more we become the master of the ego, the less it comes to us?
Yeah. It's the muscle. It's the muscle. We building up that muscle. You know, when you start walking, maybe you walk for 10 minutes and you get out of breath. The next day you walk again. The next day you walk again. Your 10 minutes become 15. Your 15 becomes 20. Your 20 day after day after day. Then you walk for 2 hours and your system is strong, your cardiovascular is becoming strong, your body itself, the intelligence of the body learns to inhale and bring in more oxygen, have a better use of the oxygen for you to walk more.
Thank you. Well, my whole day changed from, because you're right, my ego's next tactic was that once I was not going to join our live, afterwards my ego would be saying, look, you missed out on the live, you missed out on connecting with your audience, you couldn't do it, you can't do it. And that would have had the ripple effect on my entire day and would have changed my day to a bad day. But
Yes.
now I feel empowered, energetic. I'm so glad I connected with all of you guys, and I'm so grateful that you guys are here for me. And Sudguru, thank you again for another beautiful lesson.
Thank you so much. At the end, Michelle left a message for you and she said, I pinned it. She said, just sending you love,
Thank
Megan.
you
We can
so
choose.
much.
Thank you, Michelle. And also somebody from India, Mujud, he says, I love you from India. Welcome everybody from any places that you're joining us. We're doing a join live every Thursday. Tune in. And we wish you an amazing, beautiful. Thank you, Charlene Love. And we see you all next week. Love you. Bye
Sun or
bye.
rain, we're gonna show up. Makeup or no makeup, we're gonna show up.
Bye bye,
Thanks.
everybody. See you next
Bye.
week.